Hi my gorgeous shrimp farm, welcome to Mark Shrimp Tanks. Today guys, I'm going to basically go over my water change system as fast as possible. I did do a video on this last week, but the video was almost 40 minutes long, right? And I know you guys just don't have time, pardon my French, for that shit, right? You don't have time to sit and waste and watch something for that length of time, because whenever I watch videos guys, I don't have time either, right? So I thought today, right, I would try and go over this again, redo it. Unfortunately, I can't redo the DIY stuff, but I can show you what I did, because I have to take these containers down and I have to put a little bit half-inch ply underneath just to make it a little bit more stable for the containers, right? So guys, in a nutshell, this is what we're going to talk about today. This is, to me, is the best way I've ever done a water change system. And guys, you will see, it's just simply the best, right? So you take out your water from your tank, use your siphon into your bucket, and then you do this, right? You get your water for your water change from containers that are up high in the room, right? And you simply siphon out the water back into the tank, right? So we'll do a water change today as well. And guys, why this is the best way is because I'm not lifting water up to here either, right? I'm using my tap here, or tap water actually, under here, right? It's going to my reverse osmosis system, and we're not using a pump, we're actually using the pressure from the water mains to lift our water up to our reverse osmosis system, and then up to the roof, all the way up here, and then into these containers. Let me show you. Right, and then they both have a ball valve on here. This one filled up yesterday. Little switch here. As soon as this water hits a certain level, this is roughly 40 litres. I have measured it, 40 litres, and once it hits this little ball float valve thing up here, the water stops itself. And I can also turn it on and off here as well, right? And I have a master on off switch for the water here too. Right, so today guys, I was going to remove both. I'm going to do a water change on this first just to use this water, and I'm going to add a piece of half-inch ply just along this edge. You can probably just see why. There, you see it? It overlaps just a tiny bit, right? And I can see the plastic is bending down a tiny little bit, right? So I don't want that. I don't want to add any extra stress to these plastic bins. These are food grade plastic bins, can go up to 120 degrees Celsius. It says they're dishwasher safe. Good luck if you have a dishwasher this size you can fit this into. They can go to -40 as well, which is quite cool, because guys, if any of you have left these kind of tubs outside and it goes below minus, you will often have the issue where the plastic just breaks because it's brittle. Right, so as I said as well, this is food grade plastic. I will leave a link to the description where you can buy these as well. Alright guys, let me take one of these down just so you can see. It's very, very easy to move. You simply grab the joint here, you see it, because these are reverse osmosis joints, and off they come like that. That's how easy it is with this stuff. Let's get you over here onto the workstation or my fridge. As you can see here, my fridge freezer. There's a simple float valve on the inside like this. Guys, I'll leave a link to this one as well in the description. I think I got these off AliExpress. They took a little while to come, but I have these in quite a few things in my room. None of them have failed to date, right? So this is what you get when you buy this little setup. You get this, and you get all of this as well included. Costs roughly about £4, which I think is quite a good deal. As we said, this is a food grade bin. It holds roughly about 40 litres of water. I've calculated already how much salt I need to make my water up for specific containers as well. So I've written on this, this is my soft water one. This is what I use for all my B tanks. US Siemens is 250. TDS 125 at 0.5 conversion, and I've written down exactly how much salt. This is actually a teeny bit wrong, it's a little bit under, like, so if I put 6 grams in, this fills up with 40 litres of water. I mix it with a little mixing stick on the inside. I also, guys, have air lines going into them as well. You can probably just see that this one's working. That's all I need. Initially I will stir it with this little pipe like so. So we put our salt in, we mix it up like this, then there's an airline over this side, and it just mixes. I leave it for an entire day, because up here as well, guys, the room is a little bit warmer, so it heats up to a perfect temperature for us to do water changes. It's roughly about 24 degrees Celsius. Looking good. Didn't I say this was the best setup ever? Right, so from here, when the water is ready, all we do is we add our siphon. And guys, I can show you this quite easily here, look. This line that I have in here with my air line that you can see, right, so you have it, see here I have it coming in through this little pipe. I have a joint on here that I simply disconnect like this, and then I use this as the start of my siphon, right, so I put my line on here, comes down like this, and then it goes to a ball valve, right. We'll do that right next so you can see what I mean. Alright, shrimp farm, the water is perfect. I can never actually make it this good normally when I'm doing water changes and stuff, right, so there's a huge added benefit to having something up higher in the room, and it makes the water that little bit warmer. So here is our connection that I've already added. This piece of silicone tubing is long enough to go anywhere in the room, right. It is connected to another float ball valve like this, right, and guys, I have a little way that I attach these to the tanks, especially when the rim is a little bit thicker, and I'll show you that right now. Okay, so this tank on the bottom is the one we're going to do the water change in. I have the same problem with this tank here as I do with all my thicker rim tanks like this. This one at the top as well, and that is the these ball valves that you get. There's a little plastic acrylic clamp that just doesn't fit. Look, doesn't fit. It's too small. But I did find a way around this, right? But when you do this, guys, like so, you have to remember that this is up higher than the top of the tank, right? So you can't leave it like this on its own. On a normal tank, when it's like this under here, you can. It will stop itself and the tank won't overflow. But if you use the clamp on the thicker tanks like this, it will, right? So this is just a normal adjustable clamp. You can get these at hardware stores. I've added one down here, and this is the tank that we're going to do our water change on today. This is the Tater Salad cull tank or rehoming center. I no longer have my cull tub, as you can see here. We have our crayfish and stuff in here, so we have to do bigger water changes again in here. And I've been doing this for the last couple of weeks and it's just working out perfectly. Bigger clamp. You want to add your water that's getting dripped back into the tank near running water as well. So add your clamp. You can see if I can get a better picture here. Add your clamp. Make sure it's screwed in place. Now these clamps are adjustable if you want to move that float valve further down so it's automatic when it shuts off. But guys, I'm always here. I've learned from experience to never really trust anything to do with water in your shrimp room. It's always better that you're like, you do it yourself. Get in your room, make sure everything works perfectly, right? So these are handy just to stop, so that if you, by the off chance if you're not there, that they won't overflow the tank. But guys, just do it yourself. And so to get this to work, all you need to do is open the valve up the top here. It's already open. This one doesn't have a valve. I normally have a valve here. So this one is open, right? So all we need to do to get this to work is to pull that pipe off, give it a suck. Hopefully this won't be too hard because I'm not used to doing this with one hand. You see the water coming in here. God damn it, I hate to make our job harder. Right, so that is already open, this little float valve, you see it? This handle thing. Right, and because this tank is so big, guys, and because of the amount of water that I took out of this tank was a reasonable amount, probably about 25-30 litres, I'm going to leave it on that drip right there. Alright guys, to recap, just before we go, because I wanted to keep this video short, we use gravity here to siphon the water back into the tanks. Awesome, you don't have to do nothing, there's no pump involved. We use the water pressure from our tap to a reverse osmosis system back up to here, and there's no pump, right? So there's no extra added electricity bill, there's nothing else in between, right? And because it's up here and it's doing it itself off the water pressure, I'm not having to physically lift the water up there, right? That was a main issue with me, was lifting stuff up that high. The water's brought up to temperature perfectly, right? So there's a lot of positives in doing it this way compared to the older ways. I will also remove the old video of me doing it with the pump, because guys, this compared to that way, this is like 100 times better, right? So I would rather people knew the better way to do it than buying a pump that will overheat the water, etc. You know what I'm saying? Is like the pump was 250 watts. Now the issue, guys, that we always have, right, is not having enough water or having too much water, right? So we're always working with fine measurements with salt and all that kind of stuff, right? So we don't want to waste stuff, right? When I'm using the big pump, it can only go down to like something like this, and then you start to have issues with overheating. Let me show you guys. You start to have issues with overheating because the water is getting lower, but there's still at least 5-10 litres of water in there, right? Doing it this way does away with that problem. The water stays the same. You're taking the water from the very bottom of the tank. It is just perfect. Right guys, so if you found any of the information today helpful at all, then please leave me a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, then please do subscribe. And guys, have an awesome week, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy shrimping, guys. Woo, woo, woo. Before I go, I just want to say thank you to everyone that supports us on Patreon and on YouTube memberships. I don't know what my shrimp keeping days would be like if I didn't have a shrimp farm to share with. Thank you.